I am absolutely loving all the recent Jean-Luc Ponty recommendations. Listen, let's 100% listen to another one. We're listening to this track, Demagomania. This is coming off of the album Civilized Evil with a really cool album cover. Really interesting. This guy is doing a straight jab straight ahead, which was released in 1980. We are listening to this track because this was recommended and sponsored by Hiram. Hiram, thank you so much for the support and for the recommendation. I truly, truly appreciate that. I don't think that I've seen this album necessarily mentioned in the comments. Like I said, I think the name is really cool. Civilized Evil, that's kind of an interesting name. And I actually, I'm looking right now, and I do see at least that the album's been mentioned by Gabriel Correa. AK, you've mentioned this one. Elegant Irony, Jaybird, Eric Crosstier. So a few of you have made mention of the album. All right, time to dive into this particular track here. This track, I was trying to pull up the track listing to see. It starts off the album. There we go. Before we dive into it, I would like to know if there's an actual meaning to the word Demagomania. Demagomania. Meaning. Not megalomania. Let's see if there's an actual name for this. Possibly, it says it's possibly a compound term blending demagogue, a political leader seeking support through prejudice and falsehoods, and megalomania. Okay, so I got it. So delusions of grand power. So a leader's, as it says, maniacal and narcissistic obsession with power, grandeur, often gained by manipulating public emotion. Got it. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and dive into the track. We will discuss it after. Here we go. Kind of a very artsy album cover. I like that, though. Vangelis kind of kick. That's good. That hits every single time. Great sounds in here. Let that bass ride again. Didn't know I was going to do that. Listen to the synth. Okay. We've listened to a decent amount from Jean-Luc Ponty. We've listened to several albums, many different tracks, and it's really cool. And I'm only speaking personally for myself, as I usually do. He's one of those musicians and artists that, you know, when I listen to him on the channel, I'm just always genuinely excited to listen to him because I know it's going to be good in one aspect. I may not always love the track one way or another, but like I'm just always looking forward to him and seeing what he comes up with next because he has so much variety. From the most recent track we listened to, that's a fiery, aggressive Mahavishnu Orchestra, Noonwood Race kind of barn burner of a track, right? Fiery and aggressive. This one is definitely different. And I prefer this side. I love the synths here. They are so tastefully done and so, to me, unique. And like, okay, hear me out. There's a dated aspect to it, right? There's absolutely a dated aspect to the synth sounds. But because I didn't listen to this type of music growing up, it's not necessarily dated for me. To me, it sounds fresh and like innovative. And I love hearing these sounds. And like, I feel like there's so much I want to say. I just don't know how to say it and how to approach it. The coolness of the synths and obviously the way that not only Ponty's playing it, but you also have in here on this particular track, Chris Ryan playing keyboards. And it almost opens up with kind of a Vangelis kind of, you know, synthy soundscape, simply put, but wonderfully delivered. And throughout the track, in each of the verses of this track, it changes from the part where you have the synth coming, which I love. I love how that's just this constant tension and volume raising moment in the track. Or in the second part, or the last verse part, the synths play a little bit more minimalistic and kind of in the space at first before expanding from there. So there's just so much variety in just that aspect. We haven't talked about anything else. Just that aspect that you could eliminate this. You could eliminate every other instrument in this track except the synth, and you would still be left with like a very interesting, maybe kind of, you know, synthy, new age ambient kind of track. And I think that it would work really well. So just the strength alone on that is phenomenal. And I like the synthy part of Ponty's music. I think the way he integrates it, of course, alongside with his violin is just fun. It's just fun. And when at the end of this track, when he hops on the same melody with his violin as the keyboards, it's a cool coming together kind of moment. And it's phenomenal. It's great. The drumming, sensational. Who do you have on the drums? None other than Mark Craney. Where have we heard him? From Jethro Tull. And I love what he brings in this track. In the beginning, his drumming is very straight, very, basic for lack of better word, just very streamlined. No frills. But from the first fill that he brings in into the rest of this track, he starts to really amp it up in such a big way. He starts to include a lot of shuffles, a lot of ghost notes, jamming it up a lot, and adding just this fire beneath all the musicians' feet. And he fans it. He fans it like the fans of Spain, just fluttering about. And I really, really enjoy what he brings, especially on the second half of this track, but always focused on the groove. And he will bring it back to a streamlined beat if he needs to. He'll include some of those frills in there, but he'll always bring it back, which is fantastic. You know what's also cool is I guess I never thought of him as a musician like in certain respects, but you have on the bass Randy Jackson playing here, of course, from American Idol. And I never really watched American Idol that much. When it first came out, even my family and I would watch it a little bit. But it's really cool to see, wow, he was actually, a musician. And, in tracks like this, he's playing the bass. And it's great. It's phenomenal, the way that he's playing in this track. I think that, just the way that all of them play together is brilliant. And I like how, from what I can tell, I could be wrong, in the first part, here, right? That could be Ponty soloing, but I think that it's going to be Chris Ryan. I could be wrong. They're both credited with keyboards, but I think that it might be Ryan soloing in this particular part of the track, and then later on, Ponty comes in with violin, of course. But yeah, this is a phenomenal track from A to B. I think that this is great. I love the sound of it. I love how it grooves. I love how it feels. I love how it builds up. I love the scenery of synth in here. It's just my kind of sound. To be honest, it's just what I enjoy. Did you enjoy it? You can let me know down there in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you all being here and watching and listening. Hiram, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the support. Always happy to listen to Mr. Ponty and whoever he's playing with. So thank you guys so much for being here. Please come back tomorrow, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.